I'm giving my speech on like the history and the just like most important factors of duck hunting. This is my second favorite thing to do after fishing. And so duck hunting is a tradition and a source of food for many people, being passed down from generation to generation. Um, so the sort of the history of duck hunting, it is very likely that ancient hunters and gatherers societies harvested ducks and other waterfowl whenever they were presented with the opportunity, says PorcDuck.com. And uh, there's traces of waterfowl hunting going back to 12,000 years, the time of Ice Age, and when European cave paintings were found. Obviously, they didn't have guns, but you know, the cave paintings of like them shooting like bow and arrows were made. And Egyptian tombs show traces of duck hunting with large murals. Um, Duck decoys were also tracked back to the time of Native Americans 2,000 years ago in the southwest part of the U.S. Um, Now looking like into earlier times, the 1600s, there are more modern and recent versions of duck hunting in the U.S. starting when European settlers started to arrive, as they brought the most necessary guns needed to waterfowl hunt, and that being the matchlock shotgun. Duck hunting has also been seen in expedition of Lewis and Clark, where there was notes they had written about waterfowl migration and different types of ducks and their patterns, and they often feasted on waterfowl during the expedition. In the 1800s is when commercial waterfowl hunters became more popular. They were known as market gunners, who used powerful guns that could kill dozens of birds at a time. And then the Migratory Bird Act of 1918 was eventually passed due to growing concerns about unsustainable duck practices. The Migratory Bird Act created hunting limits and seasons that all hunters are familiar with today. There are different types of ducks that you can hunt, and then so you got the dabbling duck, and these are like the mallards, pintails, gadwalls, green-winged teal, wood duck, blue widgeon teal, or blue-winged teal, and the American Legion. Um, there are also like diving ducks, which are like your redhead, canvasback, and ringneck. And all these types of ducks have different season limits on birds that you can shoot. Seasons depend on the state and the type of bird, uh, like the bird like migration, and the limit depends on the bird. For the teal, like for teal season, it's much earlier than any other duck season because they start to migrate first. Then it trickles, so then like the seasons trickle down, and so like the southern states weren't open until like you know our season opened here in Michigan or closed here in Michigan, and so like a duck limit for like one day for one person is a bag limit for ducks is 6, which may not include more than 5 mallards, only 2 of which may be hens, 3 wood ducks, 2 scoop, 2 redheads, 2 pintails, 2 canvasbacks, and 1 dusky duck. So these are all very important. So like dogs, decoys, and duck calls. These are all like the, you know, what makes a successful hunt, and they're very important. Decoys allow to encourage the ducks in the sky to land and have a safe spot to feed and roost. Duck calling is a method used in waterfowl hunting to lure in the ducks you are targeting. Some very important calls are the basic quack, the greeting call, the feeding call, the comeback call, the lonesome hen, then your whistles, those being the mallard whistle, pintail whistle, and the Norwegian whistle. Some history on the duck call. The duck call dated back to 1863. Fred Allen Mouth created the first external duck call. and it was made out of rubber, and they only used them for duck calling competitions. They actually didn't even sound like a duck. And the later models, you know, yeah, they were used for competitions, and then later Phil Robertson, very successful man, was not satisfied with the duck calls that were being made, so he set out to make his own duck call, and he messed around making different calls. He wanted to make a duck call for a killer, not for a world champion style duck caller. No duck could even place in a duck calling contest because they just really don't sound like that. He gave up everything making his calls and finally hit one market that was the best to ever do so. In 1973, he received a patent and formed the Duck Commander Company and was known for revolutionizing the duck hunting industry. And then duck dogs are very important to duck hunting. So after you shoot a duck, before you know it, if you wound it before it like swims away or tries to fly away or sinks, dogs can go out, and one of like the most popular dogs is a Labrador Retriever. Yeah, it's one of the most common, and they're the best at their job. In the article, management and personality in Labrador Retriever dogs state that these gun dogs have higher scores for fetching tendency and trainability. These dogs are the most commonly used because of their behavior and their tendency to listen. And so yeah, that's basically all I got. Thank you.